Alas, we have the performance trigger by Archon Firearms. Comes in a package just like that. It's already been opened and displayed right in front of you. Let's go over some of these parts and then we're going to do an install. And I'm going to tell you how awesome it is because I already can recognize some of these components here and they are a huge improvement over what is stock here. So the trigger spring, right here, the main trigger spring is really stiff. I believe it's at 17 and a half pounds. Regardless, it's about a 7 pound trigger pull. The trigger plunger, this has a nitride coating on it, and this has like a type of nickel finish. Very slick, which is good. Same thing with your sear plunger. And then the sear spring, so maybe 60% less weight here. No, 40% less weight here, another 40 or so, something around there is about how much lighter that they are. And if you were to take a micrometer and measure the wire diameter, you would see that there would be a difference in these springs. These would be thinner, okay? And then of course we have the actual trigger shoes and assembly here. And you can see that there's a hole for your hex key to go in to adjust the set screw so you can delete the overtravel, all right? And the sear, of course, let's compare these side by side as best we can here. You can see, obviously polished is one. The actual portion of the sear right here is the same geometry, but this is obviously a lot smoother here. And it might even be, I'd have to ask them, but it might even be a little bit of a different angle. But does that really matter? Kind of cool to know, but we're going to put it in the gun and we're going to find out how awesome the performance trigger performs. So first thing we're going to do, and if you haven't broken this down yet, Archon Firearms has a great video. It came out 3 weeks ago on YouTube on how to do everything from tooth to tail, start to finish, like clearing the gun, the whole 9 yards. We're just going to pick up right here. We're going to put sear spring in. We're going to put the plunger in. Then you're going to put the sear and just keep it at that angle with a little bit of pressure. Now I'm going to take my punch it all the way down, and then just slide the sear up into place. Okay, so this part of the sear will capture that plunger partially, and then you just slide it to clear that piece right there. And if you're taking this apart, if you put it together, you're cleaning your gun and you're taking it apart, you'll see this doesn't totally clear this piece of metal. You're not going to hurt it. Just press hard. It's rounded and smooth. It'll pop out. All right. Let's get our trigger in here. First thing we're going to do is take our trigger return spring and make sure it's over to the left side, right up into this corner right there. You do not want it in front of this part of the trigger. It'll get trapped or bent, deformed in there. So make sure it's like so. Drop it right in there. I like to take this spring right now, put that in because that'll keep this from moving around to a certain degree. All right, there's that. Now we're going to move right over to the trigger spring, put in this performance spring, put in our plunger, and then make sure that that return spring is out of the way. There we go. And now I'm going to drop that right on top of it. And I'm going to press with my thumb and hold it. And I'm going to look through the hole to make sure that this bar can go through. So once I have it here, I'm going to look through and make sure it's all aligned. There you go. Once it's aligned, get this guy. Looks like that. And then you're going to put it just halfway through. Okay, so all I did was move this in till it's right there. Right there. Don't want it protruding out yet. Okay, the reason being is that return trigger spring is sitting right there. So we take our taken apart ink stick. I'm going to pull it forward, and then with that finger I just pressed it right in, and now it's behind the bar where it should be living. Now we're going to put this one in. Some of these are tight, and I'm going to push this trigger forward with that finger, because if I just tap it through now, and if it were to go really fast, it'll catch the back edge of this part. I don't want that to happen. Okay, so now that is right behind there. And we're going to grab this again, grab our trigger return spring. I'm going to pull it backwards. And then while holding it here, I can just give this a few taps because this one's a little bit tight. Okay, that's plenty enough. And now sure enough, it is right behind. Kind of hard to see. Kind of hard to see right now. That is so odd. Where did it go? Where did it go? Done that 1,000 times, but of course when you film it, shit goes wonky. All right, there it is. I see it. Well, we'll just do that again. Okay. Make sure you grab it. Okay, got it. Pull to the back. And then sure enough, you can see it right behind the bar. Right there. Now I'm going to just put that bar flush right now with my plastic side. Okay. And now we have a functioning, and you can see right now, keep this in mind. Your striker is going to go through this channel. It's resting right on that part of the sear right there. That's what's happening. And which part am I talking about? That right there. That piece right there is resting right here. So what we want to do is make sure that when the trigger is being pressed, as soon as that aligns right there, bang, gun's going to go off. Striker's going to be released. Right now we have that much more over travel. So if I were to measure that, we probably got 30, 40 thou of over travel. Okay, that's unnecessary right now, so we're going to fix that. And that's how we do it with the set screw. So we'll insert this, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to screw this thing all the way in, and I want that screw, it's about that long, to protrude a fair amount, because I want to make sure it has a good amount of Loctite on several threads. You got sweaty hands, you got bloody hands. You do not want that screw backing out, because then your trigger will get sloppy all of a sudden. Okay, a little bit of blue Loctite. I have about almost 1/8 of an inch. Not quite that, 1/16 of an inch. Okay, we got blue Loctite on there. Now I'm just going to pull it back out, and all of those threads in there will have a good amount of blue Loctite on them. Now I'll take the Q-tip, just give it a nice roll. And our set screw is not protruding at all right now. And there's two ways to do this. When we've done all super triggers and combat triggers, we eyeball it because I know exactly how far this is supposed to be over, and it works out great. But there's another way to do it. And Archon Firearms showed us how to do it their way, and that's what we're going to do right now. It's the first time I've done this, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, the locking block, I will need to put the takedown pin right in here. It's not aligned, so I'm going to press forward and condense the spring a little bit. Well, let's make sure the block is all the way down first. There we go. And then, sure enough, it's aligned. Hold in a little bit of pressure there, and we're all the way in. Okay, now we need to charge the gun because we're going to do a special little technique on when it gets, how to time that set screw so the sear releases the correct amount. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to screw this out more so I know the gun doesn't go off at all. Then we're going to back it. Well, first let's charge the gun. There we go. So I'm guessing with that much, there's no way the gun's going off now because it's protruding a good amount. Okay, so I press the trigger. Let me just get my device, my key in here again. Okay, now press the trigger, then we'll unwind. And as I'm unwinding, it's allowing the trigger to go, well, this way, further back until it's going to go bang, and then we're going to know we're there. Okay, and then they say another quarter or third of a turn, and you'd be good to go. Now let's actually take a look and see what it looks like when I was explaining the channel for the sear being able to move forward. Now, if that is all correct and it went bang exactly when it's supposed to, this going up should align right with the tip of the sear that's about to move this way. And sure enough, it is perfect. It's not perfectly aligned actually. The sear is going to hang over just a tad because there's a little bit of wiggle room in here, just a tad over that edge. Okay, now we're going to do an install. Let's put this back into our grip here. Might as well show you this since we have you here. Put this piece back in. This is your takedown capture pin. Just like that. Then we can put in our sear retaining pin. I know Archon has all the right terminology for that because this is their baby. I call them what I want to call them. Okay, so we're looking good here. I just need to get this spring, which is our slide lock and release spring in. And you're going to want to just, there you go. You'll hear it snap into place. There's a little bit of a ledge right there. Sorry, I'm moving the thing all the way down. You can't see as well. And then we'll just hold this together, drop it right in, drop it right in like so. And then I always want to give it another look right here. And then I'm going to put in the takedown pin, put it in an angle like this, then pry it like that because you have the capture pin showing right there. So I just want to get under that. Sure enough, it's in place. I like to actually hold it together like that, and then I'll put in these takedown pins. These, not takedown pins, roll pins. Very weird. Here we go. Okay. Now we can push our pin back out. Takedown pin, because I'm going to put the slide on. And then we'll see what's happening here. Okay. Moment of truth. So that's the first, I'm going to call this the first stage, and the safety is released right now. Okay. Safety release, trigger safety, meaning the trigger can be pulled now. If you don't touch it here, and if you touch it up here, the trigger won't activate. So this rolls the safety, which is a part of the trigger, out of the way. And then we're on a wall. No overtravel. So I'm continuing the press. No overtravel there, and then we'll check the reset. on the wall. Do this nice and slow. Gun just went bang. I'm going to pull more now, and there's no movement. So 0 over travel. That's cool. And then there's our reset right there. Now let me get a real feel for it for myself. Yep, that is a good trigger. That's a very good trigger. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Archon performance trigger just hit the market not too long ago. Oh, let's do a test on the weight. I'm glad I just remembered that. Yep. Okay. Here's our trigger gauge. I'm just gonna put it right where the finger would go, right beneath the bend. Right at 3.5. Just a tick over 3.5. Let's get another one. Just like they say, 3.5. And let me just do it a little bit lower because I was a little bit higher last time. We'll do it right there. And sure enough, 3.5, right on the money. So as advertised, awesome components. The weight is exactly what they say. Easy to install. You're just going to need some blue Loctite, a punch, and a few other things. If you watch Archon's video, it's awesome. They have a whole list of every tool you need if you want to, have everything, to the manufacturer's recommendation, put it that way. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you around. Take it easy.